Hello there, chat. Welcome to another stream. Hello there, Moonshoes. And today, as you can see, we will be building a mech inspired by the V-19. Originally, it was going to be the V-19 itself. I have the set right here, ready to unbox. Take a look at the minifigures. I think this is probably one of the coolest sets to come out of 2025. We did like Ahsoka's Eater. We hadn't built this one, in all honesty, so Ahsoka's Eater did get the upper hand there. But we also have some really cool figures in this. I think the figures in this, the three figures, definitely outweigh the Eater. Of course, this was an extra little bit, but I don't think the Eater went on sale too much. I think it was down from, what, 40 pound did that go? Did that retail at 40? Went down to 30, which is still a pretty good price. Hello there, everyone. This now being 40 and sub 40. I picked this up 40 quid over Christmas. And yeah, we already built the V-19. But today, before we get into it, no, we're not going to be talking about the smart play sets. Before anyone asks, I recorded, I've got a video coming out tomorrow, actually. I have jumbled around a few of my future videos. But when is the pilot magazine coming out? You mean this magazine? You mean this pilot magazine? With an extra toy. First off, Vader's Advance. Really, like Vader's Advance that is very similar to the one coming out in May. I can't say I like this build better because Vader's Advance is pretty cool. But yeah, Vader's Advance coming with the Phase 1 clone pilot. This magazine comes out tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Yes, I have this a day. Well, technically, I'm only showing you a few hours early, really, but none of my local stores open till like 10 o'clock. So about 15 hours early before any of my stores get it. But yes, this magazine is paid for by the Brickheads Toy Company. So if you're over in America, you should be expecting yours to be rolling around as well over the next couple of weeks. How did I get it? Could I please put a 330-second head on it so you can see what it looks like? I can open it, right? Well, I mean, the clone pilot, we are opening it in the V-19 in just a second. So yes, I can definitely do that. I'm probably not going to open the magazine. I will show you the poster. I think the poster in this is really cool. I'm excited to put this up on the door. Look at that. 501st Legion. We've just got a regular clone, we've got a specialist, and we've got Rex, which seems weird. Rex with it's the underarm of the printed arms. There's a little bit of printing on the outside. It does seem weird, and no Karma as well. So maybe we can touch this up. A little bit of paint to get a nice Karma flowing on. Maybe we can even do a little Apo helmet on the 501st Legion. And as for the specialist, I think the specialist is good as it is. Not much can be done to improve that figure. And then next week, for anyone wondering, we got the Night Trooper. I don't know if I will be picking up the Night Trooper. I don't know. I've got until I record the video for this to decide. And really cool mask on the back. But it's nothing against Star Wars. I've just been really enjoying the Ninjago magazines and the Batman one. Yes, Batman comes with Mr. Freeze. We're getting the light blue air tanks and a Mr. Freeze minifigure. I'm really excited about. I have Brick Owl open because I was having a little look. Whilst we open this, I was having a little look at the Eater, Ahsoka's Eater. Ooh, that box is a bit glary for my liking. The reason I was having a little look, never gets old. The reason I was having a little look at Ahsoka's Eater is the cockpit. I don't know if you've seen, there are a few new sets that have been announced for May. March. Few new Star Wars sets announced for March, not May. Paper bags, that's a dub. And can I just leave this here? Shame I build so many big Lego sets, not enough space. I think we open all the bags at once. We're not building the set. We should see where the minifigures come in first. Yes, Ahsoka's Eater. Thought I missed out on the instructions because the cockpit. I think the cockpit would look really good on the new Falcon. I do think it would look really good. And they haven't used it, Lego, since Ahsoka's Eater. Kenobi comes in bag numero uno. What about the other two? Where's the clone pilot? That's bag 3 and still no figures. I assume Ventress... No, maybe the clone pilot is left to the end. Again, bag 4. And still... Well, there's only 5 bags. I must have missed one. Is Ventress in bag 2 or are they all in bag 1? Ventress in bag 5. Where's the clone pilot? Hold on. Did we miss bag 2? I don't know where... I don't know where the clone pilot is. I don't know, it's gone. Bag 2 should be coming up any second now. I think most of the... Oh, bag 3! We missed it on bag 3. There's the clone pilot. Let's get that one first. Think you might buy this? Could I do a review? I already have a review up. Sometimes it's not the easiest to find some of the videos, so let me have a little look, see if I can find... If you go to the channel, a good way of finding it, actually, the set number, 75432. 75432. And yeah, it's the first and second video. So I've got a stream already building this. It took us 2 hours to build. That's nice because you could watch the Clone Wars movie in that. The Clone Wars movie is probably an hour long. You could watch a Clone Wars movie for that. I guess I don't do a review video just on the set, but I combine it with building a display. Yeah, I'm kind of phasing out reviews on the... Well, no. I think that's misinformation right there. Let's not do any of that. I'm not phasing out reviews, but I am combining them with mock builds. So if you want to know if you should pick up a Lego set, the first thing you should do is check you got the money for it. They're expensive. And secondly, head to the channel and just search. There's a little on computer, there's a little magnifying glass next to store. What is on my store? Viewers in the United Kingdom can't currently see your shop. I don't think I have anything listed on the shop, so that's probably why. But next to memberships, there is a magnifying glass, and type the number of the set, type the name. If you think I've built something, have a little look, maybe like Cantina, Mos Eisley, or A-Wing, and you'll be able to find all of the sets. So yeah, no problem. I do remember this being a really, really good set, which is why I ended up picking it up. Quite a few exclusive parts again. Don't know if we'll see anytime soon. This is the noisy bit. And I do want to, the mech that I'm building today, I do want to kind of keep the essence of the V-Wing. The V-19? Yeah, the V-19, not the V-Wing. Alright. Where is this pilot? And what was it? 332nd. Let me grab one of the new ones. Because, well, I guess the old one would work just as well. But this is one of the battle pack, 332nd. And, oh, I like this as well. I like the yellowed cockpit. Something about that. And the legs. Oh, yes, the helmet. We haven't taken a look at the helmet yet. And now we've got 2 of them. That's cool. I really, really wanted a second helmet. Or when I picked this up around Christmas, again, I wanted to pick up a second helmet because I do want to remake the gunship this year. Maybe I can even get a second cockpit. Let's not get too many fingerprints on that. And the clone head, I don't see that because it's hidden. So we'll try the pilot first. Yeah, pretty standard. Pretty good. There'll be higher quality images in the videos. And then, as requested, Vaughn, let's take a look. Oh, Oh, I like that. You know what? I might have to make pilots for all my other figures. This holds up for like a phase 2 pilot torso. I wonder how this would look with the newer helmets as well. Because we did get in the Arc 173 pilots, and this torso is not the same. It's very different. It's like a clone trooper version. But some of the clone pilots that use this helmet do have the regular armor underneath. I don't know if it's Clone Wars or if it's more so in the comics. So the 322 looks really nice with it. That might be a reason to go pick up the magazine. Yeah, okay. The 322 looks nicer than the actual clone pilot helmet. Whoa, the other clone pilot helmet. Can't believe we got 4 clone pilot helmets in the same year and a brand new mold. The question is, would this helmet mold do for a commando? Do I have my commando at hand? If I reach through the ATST, is it this guy here? Because the commando, oh wait, that's an accessory. Is this a sniper? Oh, no. Oh yeah, my commando has an accessory. Let's see, let's find the right torso. Yeah, definitely add a 330-second helmet to the pilot. You know what? It's not perfect. The helmet is definitely a pilot's helmet, but given LEGO's reuse of helmet molds, I think the clone pilot helmet would be great for a commando as well. I'm thinking like Delta Squad level commando. You can see it's different. It's not the exact same, but it's close enough. And because it's flat, we can get some printing on the top without any mismatched bits, without any gaps in it, like Fives. Fives has like 3 stripes, like the Maul logo, and doesn't look too good because of it. I know the Vaughn and the 332nd look a bit better, but give a 50 first leg. Oh yeah, 50 first legs. Rex's arms would do well. Fives' arms as well. I guess Rex's arms are the cheapest. Maybe even those arms from that CMF series. They might look quite good on it. Does this commando stand up? Might have to lean it a bit forward when he's not on the plate. So that's our first pilot. The stickers as well for this ship. We've got the back of the seat. Is that the control? That's the control panel, isn't it? It's not the back of the seat. Some stripes on the wings. Still need, they're only 4 stripes, but still need the grille that goes this way. And then a Republic logo on one of the wings. So we're going to have to remember the sticker placements for later. Bag 5 was a Sarge. We'll save Kenobi till last. Mix them up, mix them up. Mayhem. Yes, let's cause chaos. Which CMF? It was... Oh, good question. It was... I think it might have been the Racer. It was a jetpack Racer. Let's see. It wasn't... So Animals is series 29. So I'm going to guess 27. Jetpack Racer from series 27. The arms actually have a bit of red on the cuff, so these wouldn't work as well. Was it the Jetpack Racer? Or was it... What was the Marvel one? Marvel Series 2. Marvel... Oh, they got Spider-Man and everything now. What was Series 2? Goliath! Sorry, it wasn't the Jetpack Racer. It was Goliath. I think Goliath's arms would be a pretty good choice. The Goliath torso currently starting at about 60-70 pence. Don't know if that's any cheaper than Rex's. I feel like because it's Star Wars, you know, people are adding on their own Star Wars licenses as if that means anything. Even the minifigure ain't too bad. It's like £3. Let's see, Rex. I have sinned, yes. Is this an illegal building technique if I'm dumping the bags out? Where did this plastic bag come from? We're getting small paper bags in the set. we got 2 in bag 5. Why did we get a plastic bag as well? That makes no sense. Okay, well, bag 5 and bag 4 are the same. They're wings of the ship. There's the legs. Should have had dual molded legs. Oh, that's the only thing wrong with these figures. Look how cool this Asajj is. Great minifigure. Needed dual molded legs though, because it's just grey on the sides and it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. The only problem I actually have with Lego legs, because I will be painting the sides of these purple, I do want to give it the dual molded leg look, is the fact that the printing on the front doesn't go to the edge. You can see both sides. There is a grey strip down Asajj's legs, and that just irritates me. It does. It irritates me that it doesn't go the whole way down. I'm not going to part out these sabers. We can have a little look at the hilt. The exact same as the last time we got Asajj with these hilts. And there should be 3. So 1, 2, 3. I now have 6 hilts, which would give my 2003 Tartakovsky Asajj some lightsabers. So I've got lightsabers for all of them. I'll probably only keep 1 pair for that, and might even give 1 to Dooku, because I never picked up a Dooku saber. And finally, why are you here? I was expecting Kenobi. We see a head, we see legs. Again, no dual molded, but it's okay. It's okay. No dual molded legs. We'll make it through. And oh, nice arms. This is my second Clone Wars Kenobi. Picked up a custom a while back, but this will definitely be replacing that custom. Inside of leg printing, I think that custom even had side of the torso printing, which was a bit crazy. Great minifigure. Just need an Anakin Skywalker to go with it, don't we? Look at that Kenobi. That is cool. Where is the center point of focus? How close? I think it probably is set to autofocus on the desk. That's a good minifigure. Maybe Kenobi can be piloting our mech. I think we need a bit more tan for that. There we go. What is sin? What is sin? Oh. Quite a few nice pieces in terms of colour. We got our greys, we got our dark reds, different shades of greys, a few bits of black, and those engines, I wonder if we can make like a massive, after playing through the Lego Batman games, I want to build a big hammer, or not just a big blaster for this mech. I want to build something a bit less spacey, almost like not like a steampunk Star Wars mech, but you know, a little classic touch in there. Hello there. And another plastic bag. What? You know what? If we don't need to open them, I might not. Oh, look, there's the saucers in there though. Oh, there's some good parts in here. I might open them. Might as well use every piece we can. Ooh. I think this has got a plastic bag in it as well. Wait, 3 out of 5 bags had plastic bags in them. I'd say these were made in like different factories, but I'm pretty sure, being in the UK, all our Lego sets come from the Poland factory. I don't know if that's changed. I don't know why. I don't know why I think that. The Lego have that stated somewhere. There's probably a few other factories that we've had. Trying to keep all the little pieces to one side. And again, 2 bags in 1 bag. Maybe there is a method to the madness, but I don't think it's organizational. There's so many. I mean, we did build the V-19 just like this. I don't think I bagged out that build. So we just got all the parts and I built it in 2 hours. In the next 2 hours, can I get a similar looking mech? Oh no, I forgot an element. There we go. No studs left behind. New channel motto, by the way. No, it's not. We're keeping May the bricks be with you. Never getting rid of that. I don't know about the actual like entire engines for a hammer, these bits, but I think if we were to nick the back bits, that would look pretty good. Maybe even have a hammer that's kind of Fallout inspired and just launches itself forward. Now that is a good idea. So I'm going to start work on the hammer first, and then we can start grabbing some elements that'll be useful elsewhere. Where's the other one of these? Aha. Gotta make sure we got all our parts. Why was I searching Rex? Why do I have Toy Story? Oh, for Rex's minifigure. Not Toy Story Rex. We want Captain Rex of the 501st. It does make it hammer time. Love that. So Rex's torso is 150. So it's triple that actually. No, it goes right up to £2-3. It's like 6 times the price. I'd recommend Goliaths if you are making a custom trooper. Never able to pick up Goliath, which I really wanted to at the time. Who did I want? Maybe that was just for a custom clone. Did I? No. Yeah, 5s came with arm printing. I don't know why I wanted Goliath. That would have been a nice buy. Let's start with the hammer. We want one side like rocket powered, because why not? Who doesn't want a rocket powered hammer? Oh, do we take the time to sort through all these parts? How satisfying would that be? So satisfying. And then there were jumpers. Black jumpers might look a bit cleaner. Oh, but black jumpers wouldn't fit an axle for them. How strong do we want this hammer? I want to be able to swoosh this around. So there's the start. And then I guess that would connect down. Is there a longer axle that doesn't have a cap on it? The cap would work on one end. Especially when paired with this. Cap works nicely. And then we've got that little bit of grey throughout. We just need a handle for it, which is easier said than done. What would hold an axle? Something I'm interested in is the V-19 has a like clip mechanism with these parts and these ball joints here. So could we use that to make maybe like a 4-armed mech? Maybe use that to... There's definitely a way we can use that. I'm liking the sound of a 4-armed mech. I don't know if we have enough ball joints for a 4-armed mech. Let's just make sure we've got enough to build a mech first, and then we can start adding arms and splitting them across. Oh, yes. Here's an axle piece. Want some of that. We don't have any other colours, do we? Because I don't want to go... Oh, yellow. Yellow's a bit sticky out, a bit highlighted. Or just the one. Oh, through you go. One by one. Oh, I don't know. Which one would fit best? Or would one fit best? There ain't any like 1x elements, is there? Starting to look a bit small. We could house it inside a bigger casing. I think maybe we use some of these white bits to thicken it out. That way we can make it bigger and thinner at the same time. And still keep that engine look. Be something. We need to fill the gap. But I don't think there's too many pieces. Like that has a few too many holes. This would work. Oh, this would work well because it emphasizes the end. It emphasizes the end and make it look bigger than it actually is by honing in the middle. Or we attach that to what we've already got. We need something to smooth it off, like so. Oh, if only we had an axle with a stud on the end. I'm going to try not to use my parts for any of these. I do think that is considered some form of cheating. And like connect techniques that hide these studs inside, whilst they might appear to work, I'm not going to try to do anything that would ruin a Lego brick, you know. Just try to keep this as legal as we can. Hello there, Bevel. Your printer came in today. Awesome. Including 4 Old Republic troopers and 2 Geonosis pattern clones. Ooh. I don't have Geonosis. That's awesome. Need to get some of those. I'd love to see a battle pack. I think Lego could do a Geonosis or a Kashyyyk battle pack without hurting the value of older clones, because they've come so far from how they used to do minifigures, how Lego used to do clone troopers, and we've gone through so many different types that they could do another battle pack. We're overdue one. Hello there, Edward. Welcome. Now we can get something in the middle. Where'd the other grey one go? Yeah, in terms of battle packs, what I like about the 327th, what I like about the 332nd as well this year, is we haven't had any content with them in, and we're getting these battle packs. It gives me hope for the other Geonosis troopers, for instance. Landing at Point Rain, one of the biggest clone arcs. It's not even clone focused, I wouldn't say, but it's heavily clone featured arcs in Clone Wars, and we could get more content like that in Lego, because they're not going to stop making these Clone Wars style animations. I don't think they're stopping anytime soon. I'd love to see a few Maul sets. We still don't know too much on Maul, but there is that comic, and that would have to feature enough that they could give us some of it in Lego. We could get a sneak peek into what's to come, and then yeah, they bring it to life with Lego. I'd love to see some more animated Lego sets from animated shows. I think that's been missing. Last year was a good year for it, but previous years have shied away a little bit. Oh, how thin? How thin do we want it? Not really. Any slopes? Got any slopes? Oh, it's gonna be a good one. We got my favorite element. I think I'm gonna squeeze one of these in somewhere. I'll do it. Do it. I want it to go all the way through. Yeah, we can build this up. Yeah, more need sets, but also sequel trilogy. I would love to see Lego sell sets with multiple figures. I think if we got 2-3 more figures, yeah, a Kashyyyk set. We haven't seen anything off Kashyyyk. Rewatching Ninjago, by the way, I noticed there was this was ages ago, but it popped up again in one of the mid-seasons, and it was one of the Cobra Copters or something that we turned into a Kashyyyk build. I think we tried to battle pack it, but we added some Wookiees and made it look like a catamaran. I think that's the official name of it. And I wouldn't mind them taking a Ninjago set and just recoloring it. Ninjago sets are awesome. I'd love to get one of those for Star Wars. No, they don't seem to be making much on Kashyyyk. Kashyyyk Battle Pack 2027. It is the anniversary of Episode 3. Is it? Is it? I think that was 2025. Episode 3 come out, what, 2005? I think that might be 2005. It's the anniversary of the Clone Wars movie, 2027. It's the anniversary of Force Awakens 2015, 2016, Rogue One, 2017, The Last Jedi. Do you think we'll see any Last Jedi Lego sets? I wouldn't be holding my breath for that, but I wouldn't mind the odd set or two. Maybe 2027 we finally get the head of the AT First Order ATST. Maybe we finally get the missing piece of it. That I'd be down for. Lego releasing that as a joke would be amazing. That would be awesome. That's the sort of Lego set that I long for. Something that is taking the mickey, but everyone can laugh at. We don't, no legs, just the head. Maybe make it like a April Fool's sales, or yeah, maybe not actually making it, but just them announcing part of a set would be hilarious. See, a marketplace offer 2 bomb squad troopers, 1 old school snow trooper, and a resistance officer and Grievous in tan for €28. Ooh, Grievous in tan piques my interest, because I know the Grievous builds, even in tan, the Clone Wars version has only shown up in, is that 1 or 2 sets? I don't think Grievous themselves are common. The tan Grievous shows up in 1 set. And that is, oh no, 2 sets. Yes, I thought it was 2. The Grievous Starfighter in 2010 and the Malevolence in 2012. I wonder, yeah, both these sets are like decently priced. I feel like Tan Grievous is worth that, if that is an official minifigure. But I also feel like Grievous is the sort of character that probably has a million knockoffs. So are the people that really want a Grievous figure gonna buy the official thing, or are they gonna go for the knockoffs? Lego Star Wars is outpricing some of its customers nowadays, and I wouldn't recommend buying knockoffs, but if you can find someone that's designed a custom minifigure that does look like General Grievous and doesn't step on the licensing, then yeah, maybe it's better in your budget. But for the real Lego thing, that's nuts. Grievous in tan goes for $28.30 itself. Yeah, you are getting the Snow Trooper. I think they're fairly cheap to get. If it's good condition, that's nice. The Resistance Officer the same, not too popular. Bomb Squad Troopers though, surely they're quite expensive as well. The Bomb Squad, I feel like they're quite popular. Maybe they're not as popular, but they should be popular. If they're not popular, why aren't they popular? We could give it like a little lightsaber bottom here. Let's see if we can add a half jump, half. They're not called connectors because they don't connect anything. One of these. I don't think we have a half one. And one looks too thick. Oh, is that an anti-stud? No. No anti-studs. Maybe a short one's what we need. Hello there! Semi-Rick, welcome! Same seller as the Geonosis Troopers. Oh, nice. So tried and tested, and you might want to be keeping your eye on their store if they've got a few golden pigs. Alright. Do we have another? I think back to back in them would make. I don't want to go too lightsabery. Maybe we switch it up, just like so. And then, how's that for a hammer? No, I don't like the hilt design. All right, we'll keep the top of it and start building the mech. Just bought Phase 2 Captain Rex for only $40. The 2013 one. I was going to say, surely the set's cheaper than that. 2013 ones. Not bad. Hope it arrives. Me too. I've had the odd running with eBay, and to be fair, it weren't necessarily the well, it was the seller's fault. But it's not necessarily anyone's fault, just people forgetting they've got things listed and, oh no, we sold this ages ago. Thanks, could have updated the listing. Happens to the best of them, I'm sure. We got some sand green as well. Where did this come from? Must be inside. Surely that's not on the outside. Maybe we start work on the torso first, because we do need the space for a clone. I'm thinking maybe grey backdrop for it. So if the clone's near the bottom, maybe we'll move them one up. Will this cockpit fit? Oh, this cockpit, is, if it's a brick out, it will fit on top. That would be perfect. Yes, 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 yes. And then halfway up, some slopes, just like so. And maybe tiling off the back. I do want some grey. There is a bit of colour we can add. If we build this laying down, then when we flip it up, it should look really cool. Let's try and work the arms into this as well. So, ooh. They're on the back, they need to be out further. Maybe that bigger plate was what we needed. Maybe this one here. And then I'd want to lock the arms in. Let's see if we can make it happen. That'd have the arms out front. Same thing with the legs on the bottom. Maybe we use white. White would be easier to hide. And we can also get some of our 1x1s, 1x3s in there. Hello there, Lucasio. And then we can extra secure it on the back. How much security is too much when it comes to Lego? So if that's an arm, that's too tall, isn't it? A mech. What I should do is get the Ninjago mech up. It kind of inspired this whole thing. It's the new Lloyd's mech that's coming out March. Or February, March. I think it's coming out March 1st alongside some of the Star Wars sets. Here we go. Lloyd's Titan mech is the one, March. And the figures always sit so that the helmet is resting where the arm joints would be. So if this goes here, maybe we want to use this dish as the head. Maybe we want it sticking out. And instead of turning those 2x3s outwards, we turn them inwards. How do we clip down this cockpit? Where are the parts for that? Selling the super battle droids, old style. 3 with a rocket arm. Rocket arm's good. I got one of those. 4 are the jetpack droids. Jetpack droids, they've got a little bit of printing on, but they're the Geonosis colours, aren't they? They go nice with the Geonosis clones. And some dark bluish grey. Oh, the bank account is not going to be liking this. Too many good prices there. Where that? Nope. Aha! Nope. Unless is this level? Oh, that's infirm. No, it's not level. Okay, maybe we can get a samurai style helmet in. I love the samurai style Star Wars figures. Maybe we can work a helmet into this. And I keep forgetting we do need to leave some space for a clone pilot to actually fit in this. So we did want to build it up, which is what these brackets were going to be used for, but whoops, we'll have to connect some of these elements in, I guess. 1, 2. We want these on the side. We also want to make up here. Some of these 1x2s would give us the angle we need. Maybe a 1x3 tile. Let me get up the, oh no, 1x3 tiles, here we go. Let me get up the parts list in a minute though, so that I can have a little look. Maybe you can make an XO4 style of it. Oh, Oh, the Exoforce used... Did they use the same cockpit or was it a bigger one? Because they have the torsos built like this, didn't they? Is it... Which way? It was this? No, oh, they're slightly rounded off. There was one that Lego included in a roller coaster, which retired not too long ago, and I think that was one of these helmets and one of these cockpits, and that had, well, we could still attach this on because it stuck out a little bit. That had some connection like this, where it stuck out enough for the character to fit inside. Just got to find the partner piece to this hinge now. The only thing we know is it's on the desk somewhere. Well, we don't know it's on the desk somewhere. They could have used it as a filler, which I didn't even think about that. I don't remember that. And then ball joint. How far does this round off? Does that interact with a brick? Where did the brick go? The only issue I have with this style of mock building is I get so easily distracted. All right, axle in. Does it rotate? Oh, that's nice. So they've rounded it off so it does rotate away. That's how the legs are going to be built then. Would like to perhaps spin it. So we need to add a second joint to spin it lower down. We can worry about that later. How many joints do we have? A lot of balls? Not many joints. 1, 2, 3, and there was another over here. And if we have 4, that's arms and legs, and maybe a ball for maybe like a farm, or we can decorate the hammer with it. Oh, here's the 4th. We're already using it. So the arms and legs are probably going to be locked up. That's not too much of an issue. I feel like most Lego mechs are that way. But if we ball joint it, if we lock this in for the torso, and then have that coming up the front, we could use some of these big slopes either side. We've got these, and they would go up nicely. We filler in that gap with some of these slopes. Don't know if they'd work with it. Oh, wrong one. Where's the other one out? That'll do, that'll do. Oh look, not only does it fill in that gap, but it also lines up to the top perfectly. I love that. And then we could have a helmet on top as well, if we wanted to push the boat out. If this is studded down, does a clone pilot fit? No. Is the easy answer for that. The short answer is it needs to be 1 plate upstanding at least. So we could give it a few plates. Let's see what sort of bricks we can build it up with. We got Technic bricks, which might replace these. And then, yeah, you know what? We could Technic brick the outside. We just have to slope off that. That'd give the arm another joint. Let's grab a ball joint and an axle. This axle will act as the arm, just for now. And then with the arm in, it would rotate around. Oh no, that shoulder is dislocated. That's not how a shoulder works. Maybe the ball joint could go in the other side. If only we had a blue pin into axle. That would be our savior here. Some could say too much good stuff. The old commando droids are fun, but the new ones do smash it out the park. All right, here's a shoulder joint. We just need to cover up and make it look pretty. And connecting actual bricks to this might be tougher than I thought it would. Unless we can lock it in. Unless we can lock it in with some plates. I'm thinking of using either not using at all or using these big plates as legs. I feel like arms is a bit too chunky. Especially the way they stick out. The way they stick out, there's just no way we're going to get those working. They do look like legs because of how thick they are. And we'd like to separate them a little bit. But the arms need to be shorter with a joint. Let's see if I can do anything about the brightness. Why does everything seem to be shining so much? That's not just me, is it? Everything is shining. Aha! I don't know if that's changed anything. I think it looks a bit clearer. But what about... That might have made it shine even more. Think I've solved something. I don't know what just yet, but something has changed. Something is not the same. Ooh. That would secure the arm a bit more. That builds out the body too much. What I can do. Alright, if we want to use that, we can switch back to the smaller torso. Maybe build it up. Switch back to the smaller torso, build it up a little bit, because this can be our side. I like this. I like this. I do want to keep those. So, how many we got? 1, 2. Let's use these instead. How do these line up to Technic bricks? Or to Technic? Don't have to be Technic bricks, do they? Technic beams, because this will give us the most space for our clone pilot on the inside. Then we wouldn't have to fill up too much along the top. And we don't actually need these, do we, for it? I'm going to break this out. I think maybe attaching the ball joint to the arm, it'd be like the arm socket and then the arm's actually breaking away. We just need to remember to, yeah, I want a little bit of rotation in it, which this does give. And using the slope, we could leave this uncovered, just one plate uncovered so that it's got that connection. And then use some of these, what's light gray wiggles about. So we'll use the light gray first because dark gray has a higher purpose. And then we can start studding it up. Something like that will work, and we'll do the same along the bottom. Just like so. With more of these joints at the top. I do quite like this piece. Ooh. How low does the clone have to go? That low. So we could Exo4 style it. I do like that idea. And I think with the cockpit piece, it works well. We've got that up the top. Let's see how many more of these pieces we have. Because we've got a lot of them flipped upside down. We might only have 2 in this entire set. That wouldn't be good. Hopefully we've got more than 2. Again, upside down. How many we got upside down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 upside down. No, is that all of them? Because I could try and angle it. How's the maths work on that? If we angle this torso facing outwards, Surely it wouldn't hold on this point. No. So where would it line up? When would it line up with a main body? Would that be, that's way too far away. That wouldn't work. Just misses that. Just off center. That would look cool though, if we could angle it outwards. Maybe we use some of these Technic bricks that we seem to be hoarding. And then same for the other side. Let's make sure we're mirror imaging this so we make sure we got enough pieces, including the spares. We might as well be using the spares while we're here. While we got them. And then the same goes for this side. And as it stretches out one too far, we can connect the Technic. We need to leave the gap in the middle, which means the leg joints would be a little higher. Or we could try and lower them. Oh no! The mech arm has fallen off into the lake of Lego bricks. That's where our clone trooper would be. Maybe a panel for the head, or just straight up a helmet for it that will close in. Maybe expose the head, because this is a mech. Yeah, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of exposing the head. Because this would go so low, like Han. Do we think we could get two pilots in here? No chance. Right? And then we have the arm on one side. We have some wedges built in here. I think I might build this one further up. Maybe Exoforce did have them like sat in almost. And then we could have... Do we have one of those funky minifigure seats? You know the one I mean, chap. The funky minifigure seats. The ones that don't seat down. The regular mech standing piece. I might have to have a little look through the magazine and see if we get one for the cockpit. It's studs at the minute. I think they just give us 4 studs. Oh, that's the wing. Yeah, we just get 4 studs to sit the clone pilot on. Okay. Well, then we can stud them up. And that'll lock them in place. Which means we need plates. Plates. Dark red plates. Has to be dark red. No other choice. Alright, not that far up. One down. And mirror that. And then on the end, I'll include a single white stud. But we still haven't connected these in place whatsoever. Ooh, these would work. Hello there, Owen. Went to the Lego store at Manchester yesterday. How is the store at Manchester? I've never been. It's probably one of the biggest. I mean, Leicester Square is the biggest in the UK. But surely it'd come close. Manchester has a load of big stores. We could run an axle the whole way through. If we had a 6 length, oh look, studs. What do we need that for? Was there for the hammer? We needed it for the other end of the hammer. Oh, we might rebuild that then. I'll keep that in mind. We could attach the legs like this as well. There's ball joints in the middle, so if we kept it clear, we might be able to outturn a few. And then that would center the legs. That would be helpful for the legs. And then we could, oh look, here's the piece I was looking for the cockpit. Yes, we can still do it. I've lost the other piece. This is going to be a back and forth. You know what? I'm going to put that there till I find what I was looking for. Maybe grab some wedges. No. Just one by ones. One by ones. Nothing fancy to go on the bottom of these slopes. Never been to any Lego stores. Or if you're in Manchester, that would be quite a store to go to. I recommend Leicester. Maybe if you can catch a Lego store for the holidays, that is an experience. They always have something going on, and there's usually some Lego freebies given away nearby. So if you can time it just right, you might be in luck. I love a good Lego store. A good Lego store trip. A two by one in white. Oh, brackets, yes. Can't forget to be using these. How tall is this cockpit? It does come down the sides. But the reason I want to put the bracket there is we can get a bit of detailing in and also keep the cockpit angled up. Maybe we can get more pilots in this. Maybe we can get two. If we have one down here, and then one behind it? No, really? Let's use Kenobi to see if we can find out. It would fit two. It would fit two clone pilots. Not too comfortably. But two figs piloting a mech does seem a bit overkill, especially when Kenobi's got a saber. Does seem a bit too powerful. Let's switch this around. If we've got enough space, we've got enough space to mix it up. Oh no, that makes it too long. Oh, undo. I wanted to get the other Technic pieces on the bottom here. And these beams aren't long enough. Oh, well that is a pain. We have, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. A horrible number to be working with. I can do 5s, I can do 3s, I can't do 7s. Went to Arndau. Yeah, window shopping, of course. That's why I go to the Lego store. Bit of window shopping. Almost quenches my thirst for a new Lego set. I don't have to be spending any money. One of the easiest ways to look at Lego. The other side of the window. We got an arm. We don't have anything attached to the arm yet. Oh, here's another one of those Technic connectors. Maybe bricks is the way to go. Feeling there's something better for up here. Maybe we don't need to connect the arms at the top. It would be the most secure way. Something like that. But is that too much space? And also, so much for trying to keep to the V-19. I think the V-19 has a wider torso. That's what we need to be working on first. How long is it? Pretty long. Pretty long. So if we increase the entire thing, increase the size of the entire thing, then we can still get our legs at the bottom. Where's the other one? There. We can even get some bricks up there. So where's that connector gone? This one. This connector would hold the legs in the bottom. I did want to use some of those rounded off pieces so that we could get these turning, but there might be another way. There are, so if you are able to take a trip over here to England, I would recommend the Leicester Square store. If you're on the other side of the world, probably the Sydney one in Australia. That's meant to be the biggest. London only comes second. And if you're in London and haven't been, definitely go. Cannot recommend it enough. Oh, G-slope. Oh, we had 1x2s as well. I might save the 1x1s for on top. Although we only have two 1x2s. Where are the rest of those? Or we could snot brick and ingot it. No round bricks though. I think on top, we probably need the 1x2s. I'm gonna get rid of these here. Attach these in at both sides. And that would need some sort of 3-pin. Because we don't have two. Well, we do have two. We have two with the axle on the end, which is good for a nice bit of detail. Not that I can find those. You'll donate enough to buy him a plane ticket. You donate enough for YouTube to get a plane ticket as well. If everyone donated X amount, we could go on a channel trip to Denmark. Ooh, I like the torso. It is still very V-19 with these slopes on the side, so I'm looking at getting 2 panels on the side. Maybe we extend this even more. So much for this being a smaller mech build. This thing's going to be massive by the time we're done with it. There is a double slope. Let's get the double slope lined up. Once we transfer this across, although 1, 2, 3. Oh no, we need it to be one wider than this, so this bottom isn't going to work as well as we hoped. But this will still work. Like so, and get some of those tiles. Oh, we want one of these with the Imperial logo. And we don't want it to rub the clone pilot. Is this enough space? I want to stand it up so that its head is poking out. I might build some sort of back for it. We don't have a lot of rounded off pieces. That's really the best we're getting. Although that would work. If we put some studs in the middle and then we had some jumpers. Do I remember any red jumpers, white jumpers? Oh, there's the other piece that we needed. Grey jumpers would work if we had 2 of them. Beautiful. And now this can connect. All right, we're making some nice headroom here. We wouldn't be able to go any further than that. So we might as well grab a nice long spine. Could we round that off though? Nice long spine. We could, that'd kind of wreck the top. And that would be the backing for the clone pilot head. We are going to make the torso a little longer at the bottom, so that's all right sticking out. And it'd be something like that. Something a little like that. So we just need to fill in this middle bit. What do we have? What do we have that could fill it in? Oh, this would work better. -7 Celsius. Ooh, that is freezing. Literally freezing, but also cold. Shorts and a t-shirt. I go everywhere in shorts, but I wouldn't go out in a t-shirt in that. I'd have shorts and like the biggest jacket I own. Ooh, that's still too far. What do you mean too far? Wish I had kept some of those 1x3s. Oh wait, no, the 1x3s don't fit because there's no holes on that one. maybe this. Ah. But then again, we've made it even taller. How am I keeping this stretching? How do I keep stretching it out? All right, we'll come back to that. For now, wrong way. We need to secure the arms in place and make sure the height of this matches what the V-wing would. Like, we've got how many of these? We might even need to save our 1x3s for this. We could have a dark red upper arm. Hold on, they're both the same size. 1, 2. They're the same size. What? I guess they're on the middle fin. That's not good for us. I'd rather them both work on the same part of the build. So 1x4s, or is this for the middle fin as well? 1x3s it is. I had some 2x6s. Don't need any of that. 68 degrees. Yeah, that doesn't sound too warm either. That's probably not far off the other one. All right, this could be an elbow joint. I can see that because we could then connect one of these on each side, and as long as we have something sticking out to cover that gap, only we could like extend it to there and have it freeze, like stick it in. Whoa, these parts are shiny. What is it about the white elements today? Or is it the light? Is it the light being where it is? These Lego bricks are godly. Oh no, this is what we use for the arm joints. All right, we've already got these parts. Yes, we connect these in, and if we can find a better way than plates to secure this, like with Technic, that would be lovely. Hello there! Currently Lego sorting parts, so it's easier to find your most used. That it does make it so much easier. I mean, it makes sense, it makes it easier. You're trying to make it easier, but it makes it so much easier once you've got some sorted parts. So there's an elbow joint, but it only goes as wide as straight. And then we need space to bring it back in. Maybe having these linked isn't what we have in mind. We need these well out of each other's way. If anything, on the inside of the arm, kind of stretching out some of these joints. Oh, let's see what we can do. Already sort by each type, but half of it you may not use. That's a good point. There are so many parts that I don't touch in a while. I tried to incorporate them into mocks, but some parts just aren't for mocks. Some parts just don't go. And, you know, not every Lego part needs to be used. So that's why I find it weird when Lego come out with new elements, because there's so many old parts that I guess it's trial and error, and it also allows them to spend a bit more money on things like new elements that they wouldn't normally do. But it is weird when they come out with new parts so frequently, because you could barely keep up. Oh, that might be too sharp, the crotch. We want to stretch that out a little bit. And also, I never thought of looking. So that will be built up. Maybe we outdo this outside piece. I want to cover the arms. Do we cover them like this, or do we just suspend them on the back of the mech? Maybe we push them behind, and that's how they connect. We've not got very far here with the mech, considering we've been building for an hour. Sometimes you just got to scratch that, restart the project, and then see what comes. I think this needs to be incorporated a bit more as well. Let's see if we can use those shapes that I weren't going to. Because that would leave the arms out and get the thickness we want, but then as they slope in, we'd then get the two legs out the bottom, which we want to be as close as possible. So let's keep this design for now with the legs and have something just hooking on. Something like these. We can secure down on the rest of the build. Or hide behind it. I don't think that would work too well. Oh no. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, this is where those 1x5s come in. Unless, oh, we've got so many 1x4s over here. I'm going to go through those first. Going to be buying a smart brick for sure. They look so fun. I admit they're expensive. I'm not interested in picking one up day one, but I'd love to get one eventually. Just so I can sit there and play around with it. I think I would go live playing around with all the different combinations. And I got a notification on my phone earlier today that it can now read and write NFT tags, custom NFT tags. So there's nothing really stopping people from getting those tags and getting rid of the rest of the sets. I think they might be quite popular with some of the custom commands people will be finding. Leaks will no longer be dodgy images. There'll be custom NFC sounds right. Custom NFC tags that people can download and play with before the set's out. Add it to an alien ship. That would be cool. People assume Smart Bricks is for children. It's included in 18+ sets. Yeah, I wonder if they will. I don't think they will include it in 18+ sets. I think LEGO have seen how adults, generalizing, but seen how adults react to it and will probably be keeping their distance from it. But I'd be open to getting it in an 18+ set. Because of the sounds, because of the lights, I'd want LEGO to take this and do something more with it. Especially for an 18+ set. There's a lot that can be done. And I'd love to see LEGO of all people doing it. I think Smart Brick could work for adults. Yeah. I think if they could line it up, being used in motorized sets. Motors is something they can add. Lights, sounds. I don't know if the Smart Brick in particular, or if the components of the Smart Brick. The Smart Brick's got a speaker. It's got lights. It's, I guess sound is the speaker. Pair that with a motor and you can get some really cool adult sets. I've been completely forgetting about my drink. And I think not just really adult sets, but display sets. Generally, the Smart Brick is designed for play at the minute. If you could get the lights without having to, you know, flick a red lever or move it around, that, even for kids, having it on the shelf doing that and doing it on its own would be impressive. So I think the Smart Brick is going to move into a, I guess, a contactless route of no longer having to swoosh it around, pick it up and wave it for a couple of minutes. But it's early days still. Early days. Ooh, ooh. Yes. No, yes. No. Hold on. No, that doesn't work. That's not what I was thinking. This ball joint, if only we had one of those little connectors. One of those, half a stud. I don't think there is. I think they should be included instead of these, just two of the little ones. Nope. Okay. Definitely none of them. Well, at least we had a look. Sounds with motors, that is what That's what I want in Lego sets. I don't know if that's what everyone wants, but that would be cool. I think also with sounds and motors, you're not just looking at, because a lot of the motors are like motorized trains. I think they're still very kid-centered sets. If you have model sets, you're not going to want to sit there with like one grand remote of like 20 remotes playing with it. That sounds fun, but most people would want them automated. That's what I'm looking for. If Lego could automate it, it would introduce screens, and they're trying to be, they're trying to get kids away from screens. And I think if you villainize something, Lego at the minute are targeting screens, video games, and if you target that whilst you're coming out with Batman, okay, this is a company that's coming out with video games every couple of years, and if you're trying to get kids away from screens, you're just gonna create this divide. So it's Lego are trying to get kids to choose between video games and Lego bricks. I think they should incorporate it more. Batman, it has a few Batmobiles from the new Batman game, but why not anything else? Is it just Batman sets? No Joker? Joker's not showing up? Two-Face ain't? No Riddler mobile? What car does the Riddler drive? That's what I want to know. What car does the Riddler drive? And we won't be finding out because Lego is just sticking us with the same couple of Batmobiles every few years. And, ooh, white slopes afterwards. No 2x3s in, oh yes! Oh, I needed a 3x3. This is good enough. We'll take it. We will take it. I can't say no to that. I think Skywalker Saga would have benefited from more actual sets as opposed to digital. We got Andor, got a battle pack in Skywalker Saga. We never saw those figures. So many people would have bought those figures, but we never saw them. They never saw the light of day. And then they wonder why why people are complaining, why people are doing this. It does suck because obviously that's not the entire answer. Lego are working on other things behind the scenes, but when something like that would just give that little boost. If we got a set coming out for Maul, the hype around the first Bad Batch set was nuts. I remember it like it was yesterday. Not quite. I don't have that good a memory. But I do remember a lot of people get really excited for the Bad Batch set. And there's not been anything like that recently. We've got a bit dark red either side. Dark red on the left, dark red in the middle. How many of these? We got 1, 2, 3. Show me a 3. And do we have them on the other side? 1, 2. Come on, where's the third? 3! Yes. Won't be using those on the arms then. They're taken up in here. Although there should be white in the middle. Yeah. They should be white. The white is just sloped, so maybe using some of these 1x3s, and then we'll build it up one at a time, one plate at a time, and then we'll reach the top. But we need 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we have any 2x4s? I don't think we have 2x4 bricks. We do have 3x3s in red, and we should also get some sort of engines. Maybe I'm looking at this the wrong way. Maybe we need like rockets over the top. Rather than a hammer, we can create the engines at the top and they can act as some sort of cannon. I do want to still build a hammer, and we'll use some of the pieces left over for that, because I don't think we'll be needing that. Where did that stud piece go? Stud piece, that 3x3. Look at this. This is a hammer. Now this, now this is pod racing. And then something to connect in the middle. Only going to be an axle, but it's finding an axle that fits and has another end. All right, other way around. Other way. Oh, this is going to be impossible to get out now, isn't it? How how do I not again? Is there any way? I suppose it wouldn't come out with a brick separator. Well, we could get something in there. There is that smaller brick separator or a bar. Bar would do the trick. Just between. Oh no, a bar does not fit. Of course. Had to be this element with the stud on top that nearly got stuck. It wouldn't have been any other element. It was wrong. The brick is made for kids. It's only been in eight plus sets at the minute. Lazy for imagination play. To be fair, you do have a point. I mean, some kids don't have imaginations, so there's an argument for it. But I do think it is quite a simple way of looking at it, because growing up, you'd make the noises yourself. It's a bit like the lightsabers. The reason I haven't bought a lightsaber in so long is because they all just come with sounds. Genuinely, I would pick up a lightsaber if it had that little spring lock that would shoot the blade up and no sounds. I know I can turn it off, or better yet, I just don't charge my lightsaber. So it never makes the sounds, but then it also stops lighting up. I just want a plastic single blade with a spring on the inside. And I'd have hours of fun with that. Swooshing it around, making the noises. Whereas, I suppose, instead of getting kids away from screens, it is stopping them from being imaginative. I also think, though, Lego isn't one for imagination or creativity. Lego does see itself as a designer brand now. It's to be built, it's to be displayed, and then, you know, maybe play with it for a little bit, grow up, whack it on a shelf, never touch it again. They've only just welcomed adults, and now they're shooing kids out of it. Because, whoa, look, I don't know why I went to show the camera. Look at that. Look at that for a hammer. That's the hammer we needed. That's the hammer we needed. All right, I'm liking this. Let's see how far we can go. Where was I? Imagination. Yeah, it is odd. It's definitely not for creators, and I think the reason you haven't seen too many people saying that there hasn't been too many copyrighted sounds. Was there a song on the final duel? Was there a song on the final duel build? Or am I imagining that? Because that's what I imagined. I imagined, okay, we're making lightsaber sounds. Maybe this is swooshes, or no, not swooshes. We're making swooshes as well. Maybe this is themes. Maybe it's specific songs like the Emperor. When the Emperor sits on the Emperor's throne, the Emperor's theme starts playing. That's something that not every kid is going to know to hum. But it turned out to be a bit more cartoony, a bit more swooshes and stuff. You know, swooshes and stuff. That sort of thing. I'm going to steal this for the arm. I don't think we'll use this on the mech, because we've gone a bit stud heavy on the torso. So this will be the arm of the hammer. And through there. Yeah, the lights are cool. I just think there's so many better light kits. Lego, rather than trying to start off from scratch and do their own thing, would be better buying out a light company, or not just buying out, like having shares in a light company. They don't need to buy everyone out, but if they wanted to make their own genuine products, imagine a Star Wars set with lights. Imagine a Ninjago wouldn't really help, would it? Ninjago's good enough as is. I don't think anything's going to change Ninjago. Ninjago is just going to keep being Ninjago. That's it. At the end of the day, Ninjago is Ninjago, right? There's nothing you can do about that. Where did the other flat one go? I keep misplacing this flat tile. There's only one other in the set that I know of. It's here. I do have some lights that I want to whack into a build. I don't think I can use it in this. Not in this form. Oh wait. Should that be Oh, there's a bit of leeway in it. Ooh. We could balance it out between them, or we could add a plate. We could add a plate, but that would uncenter things. Would that annoy anyone if I just added one plate one side? Do I have to even it out with a second plate a second side? Because it would still hold. I hope. It'd annoy me. Yeah, there we go. Still holds, still strong as ever. And I think I can remove one plate in here. That way I just sink it a little bit. There we are. Although, didn't that... Oh no, that's perfect. Maybe it was the studs of the second plate. Didn't work. Good thing I noticed that before I moved it. Hello there, welcome back. Want a Lego AI set that builds itself? I've seen some of the Lego AI sets. I'm not worried about AI taking over in the mod community. I think a lot of the AI Lego sets are... Oh, do we only have the one? Hold up. We only have the... Okay, we are going to keep a little bit of rocket power. I thought there was a second axle. There's so many odd amounts of parts in this build. Yeah, I'm not afraid of AI taking over from mock building because it's only as good as the people putting things in. Like, and unless you get really odd, really specific and have a list of parts that you want them to build in a certain way that has already been done by someone else, AI is yeah, not very helpful. I see in some areas why it can be a bit frightening. I mean, it just goes to show, you know, you see my face on something, it doesn't mean that I've necessarily said it. I don't use AI on the channel. Any thumbnail that you've seen that you might think, is that AI? That is hand done. And a lot of them, my banner actually, the head in it, I spent so long creating that head. And when I finished with it, it looked like AI. It just looked like AI. So I was back to the drawing board and tried to do it again. And I think I needed to add a bit of noise to it. I think it looks a bit too smooth to be real Lego. So I need to work on that. But yeah, we don't use AI on the channel. Can't wait to get the magazine. Yes, coming out in a few hours. It's a good magazine. I have flicked through it a little bit as well. There's the hammer. Now that is a powered hammer. We've got blue on the back. We've got a big old X to mark the spot. We just need to round off the innards. I was going to use these. I guess that's gone out the window. These were going to be the cannons overhead. Maybe we can garnish the shoulders with a few other elements. Thumbnails are pretty awesome, thank you. Talking about the magazine, finally got in contact with your subscription seller. Well, halfly. They told you to write an email after you put a 1-star review on them. Oh, don't fall for any of that. Yeah, a lot of people will contact you if you leave a negative review. The point of a review is for it to be your honest opinion. And as long as you're leaving your honest opinion, don't fall for any scams. A lot of companies recently have started saying things like, oh, they will take you to court. They will do this, do that. They can't. Legally, they're not meant to threaten court action either. That's a whole nother debacle. But yeah, they can do it. They get away with it because the most average people aren't gonna do anything about it. They're probably gonna write at most like a review on Google or a Reddit post and then get on with it. Companies, it's small businesses as well. This isn't like Lego saying, oh, get rid of this negative review. It's small businesses that are doing this, which is messing them up. I don't know really what's in it, because if someone, even on Amazon or on Brickout, if I'm buying something and someone's got 100% 5-star reviews, I'm getting suspicious. I'm not trusting it, because even if that is a genuine 100% 5-star reviews, there's usually one person that gives them 4 stars and goes like, oh, delivery could be quicker, something like that, that's out of their hands. There's always that one review that's like genuine, but it's not quite, you know what I mean, it's not quite there. You paid 50 subscriptions. Oh, that's ouch. Ouch, that's crazy. What are my thoughts on the infamous 6.7? Oh, growing up, we had things that we laughed at that older generations had, that just couldn't understand. It's the latest thing. I like the way, my favorite thing about 6.7, don't get it, don't understand it, no idea. My favorite thing about 6.7 is how mad people get at it. It's a joke. It's a joke. You don't get the joke, move on. It's cool. But everybody wants to be in the know so badly that, yeah, if they don't understand something, they start, oh, but it's not funny, it's not. It's like, if you don't get it, cool. It's the new YOLO, yeah. Stuff like that. Oh, there's so much of it. It's funny now, see, because growing up, I'd always hear older generations saying, oh, just wait till you're this age, just wait till you're older, wait till you're grown up, wait till the younger generations are doing it. And now that, well, I'm not that old. Okay, let's clear this up. I'm not that old. Was born in 6.7. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's pretty cool. The fact that you were born in 6.7. That's like brownie points, surely. But yeah, now that I am getting to those ages, again, I'm making myself seem older than I actually am here. It's yeah, not bothering me in the slightest. Ooh, 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 ooh. What if this came down? What if this came down over the top? Ooh. And then we could build, oh wait, yes, I do want to build a samurai helmet for this thing. I can't remember where I put the hinge. But we could build it off the top here with the rounded tan pieces, because they can go out any angle, and then we could have plates on top of those. There's a rounded off piece that goes on the nose of the V-19. Having built this set, I will say, if you want to build an alt build of a set, build the set first so that you know what pieces are in, because this rounded off element is one of the new pieces from last year. I'm going to struggle finding it, but I know it's here. Not old, mature. Think of it like a cheese. More mature. Well, not necessarily. I don't think I'm maturing anytime soon. At least you're not 67. Yeah, good point. Where is this element? I thought I saw it when I was parting it out. It's probably in one of the first bags. Oh look, here. This is the one. Ooh. We could add some brackets. Sometimes I just forget what pieces are called. That's okay. As long as you all know what I'm talking about. Not mature, not mouldy. Really struggling with the latest iPad update. Oh no, don't tell me there's another one. Yeah, Apple and iPads. I don't know what they're doing. Apple's gone for, I think one of the good things with Apple, because it wasn't very customizable, it was always, for me, seen as one of the easiest products to use. But recently, some of the things Apple have been doing to their devices are just, like, they're not terrible. There are worse platforms for updates and new things rolling out, but they're just not easy. They're making things difficult that don't need to be difficult. And that is a little annoying. Just a little. Just a wee little bit. Struggling with first iPod not being able to play Bike Race anymore. That's a sad time when one of your early devices stops working. Oh, okay. That's a nice kind of A-Wing inspired. I like that though. I do like me an A-Wing. The hardest part is just how we're gonna secure this down. Maybe we lower it. Maybe we lower it like this. And then we need the legs to poke through. Oh, look at that. Almost like it was made for it. Almost. Almost like it was made for it. And the helmet's popping up above the shoulders. This is perfect. Let me put down a snot brick so we know that's where our clone trooper's going to stand. Maybe a stud up so we can tile off the back a little bit. And that also raises this a tad. And then we've also got some of these slopes. It would be nice to have some of the smaller slopes, but you know, we're making do with what we've got. And then the sharp angles here for the pieces underneath. And that is the 1x2 with the legs that we never got round to attaching. Oh yeah, because we were working on this dark red. I might remove the dark red on that side, or at least change it up somehow. That way these are as low as they could be. Wish the pilot head had a fin. Do you? Like the Phase 1 clone troopers? Because we do have the older pilot helmet. Should we see how that looks? It's a different style. This is the older Phase 1 pilot, and that does have a fin. You take that on the new. This is also the. Do we get two pilots? No, I think this is the only clone pilot we got before with this style of helmet, and it works. The old helmet looks good. I think the big thing about the clone minifigure isn't just the leg printing and the white hip. It's the feet. The feet printing changed so much. I do like the new helmet mold though. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I'll keep that one out there as well. Kind of disregarded the Kenobi and Asajj. If we have parts left over, and if we have time to finish this today, I do want to build mechs for the others. Speaking of finishing this, we don't have any 2x2 dark red wedges, do we? But like 2x4s. But no 1x2s, so let's use a little dark red, just a little bit. Maybe this is where we fit in the corner dark red. That's it. 1x1 cheese slope, and that's the lot. We can do a little better than that. Although I say that not knowing many of the dark red pieces we've got. Oh, wait, we've got this corner piece, yeah. What if we inset it? No, not really. Right, for now I'm just going to use white because I think that will be covered on the outside, like a 2x6. I know we got that. I remember that piece. And then another one. Fin needs a fin. They're the sort of joke figures that I'd love to collect. I will have a video showing off my display, but I have my Chef Palpatine in with my gingerbread men because why not? It's a fun nod to a few different references now. I guess there's been a few different references amongst Star Wars. But it's something that, ooh, these Technic bricks are almost perfect for maybe the legs. Maybe the legs. If we had the ball joints in, we might finally be able to see if the legs work. There's one, and one. Here's the other two. Oh, the other one didn't attach. And no more of those Technic clips, I guess, by the looks of things. We might need to makeshift our own connection with a dark red slope. Not what I had in mind, but it works. And builds it up a bit. Whoa, this is a bit steep. We did want to build it up, just didn't have that in mind. We do want a rounded shape. If these work, can't fault them for that. Any corner plates? Anyone see any? Well, we got the big ones and the little ones. This is what I'm talking about. And some of those corner wedges. Too little, too late. But what I'm thinking of this is adding a bit of padding. And then maybe a towel the rest of the way up. Especially if we can get this on a slope. Do we have another hinge? What would the hinges have been? Oh, right at the back. Right at the back of the V-19. We do have another hinge somewhere here. Let's look for that. Oh no, I thought I found it. All right, this is a very A-Wing inspired build. The legs will break it up. And we can use a lot of all these underside clips. I'm hoping that this secures, all right, we'll switch this one around. This secures the leg in and still allows it to move around a bit. And then we can plate up the back. Something like this, because we could have, yeah, it allows a bit of movement, You've got a little wiggle in there. Not as much as I'd like. I might switch this around. That way the clip would be running through the Technic piece. It's just like working with ball joints. You got to know which side to place the clip and which side to place the other bit. So Technic pin on the middle. And then there you go. You've got the ball joint just below the turning point. And that can connect to one of these. If we have the pieces to connect it, that is. We might not. We might have just used the pieces to connect it. We need the axle in there. We could go with a longer axle. Either one of these with blockages on both ends. Something that would secure it in a bit more. Like this might work as a ball joint. We get the ball clipped in. Because of how rounded off it is, we just need the pin. Nah, again, it still blocks it a bit more than I'd like. It does have that 90-degree turn, so this would be good for the arms. Yeah, this would be really good for the arms. Remember that. And then we can secure this in place with only a pin. And we might use a triple pin because we don't have a double pin. And the more secure we can make it, the better, of course. As it always goes. Feels a little extra having these two, but we could trap one of the pins in. We could even get away with 3. How many do we have in this set? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we've got enough. I'm not going to use these anywhere else. So if we trap some pins in, really secure this one down, it fills up our 3x3 space. We don't have to worry about that. 1, 2, 3. Just a massive brick to hold in the shoulder joint. And then that's only in by a pin. So that will have its own Technic connections. We can't use this. We can use, oh no, we need it. We need it like this, don't we? We want it to be down. Ooh, no. Because then the studs are out to the side. Well, they've made this really hard to mechify. I wish I picked an easier set. No, I don't really. Picked an easier set, we'd have done it in half an hour. We need something that can go from Technic to studs. Or just more Technic to use in it. Oh yeah, we've even got more of those 1x3s. How many did they want to give us? A bit crazy. 1, 2, 3. Just like so. Let's get, what do we need for the mask up here? For the helmet, we needed a slope. Ooh, this one. Slope like this. Maybe a cheese slope underneath. Bring a bit of grey up here. Bit more grey up here. Yeah, that's the perfect angle for the headrest. Maybe some slopes. I don't want to slope it out too much because I want the head to be a little open. And this back bit could do with a bit more support anyway. Yeah, I do want it a bit more open, but I also want it almost tiled off, which I don't tend to want things, so don't tend to want things tiled off. So how we're going to go about this will be fun. Maybe the front is it. Maybe that is the front. And then any 2x2s, that would be the easiest way to cap it off. Bit of dark red behind the helmet. Where'd our clone pilot go? We could even slope it off quicker if we remove these. So we could still get our angles in there. One there, one on the other side. Again, just double checking that our clone will stand up. We'll plate them one out so we can get some tiles. Maybe we don't need tiles. Maybe we don't need tiles. We just need a little bit of tan to look like some sort of back padding or dark grey or dark red. Dark red's a nice colour. I like the dark red and white duality in these sort of sets. So let's use up some of our dark red. We don't have a lot of it, but what we do have, we will use wisely. For sure, totally using this wisely. 1, 2, 3, this is the one. And then if we just continue that straight down the middle, I think that will solve most of our problems. We have a second stripe. Perfect. Or there we go. Get rid of the odd ones. And a slope. We still need that slope up the top. That slopes in a bit quicker. Slopes in a little bit quicker. What I'll do is flip this around. We'll have their head sticking out one further because we don't want the torso to stretch out too far. Ah, no! Can you imagine if Star Wars made this an actual set? If we had a big mech, because I'm liking the little trooper mechs, the little figures, the little fig mechs, the little mechs. Everything's a little mech compared to this, but I do think I would love to see a bigger size mech. Scaled up just a little bit, just a little bit. Because Star Wars don't care about scale, never have done. We can get some bricks up here. Don't know about the height of that. We could use it for some cannons. It's at that perfect height for cannons, actually. Where did those funky Technic pieces go? These pieces. That's what I'm talking about. I think if this was for cannons, it should be at least 1 over. So we could connect all this Technic in the torso together. Let's 1 over, yeah, 1 over so that it rests on the shoulder. So right here we have, let's move this up 1. And then add another 3. So I have 1 of these going up. And then how far down would this brick need to be placed? Ooh, too far down. All right, we'll bring it 1 up. We'll bring it 1. Oh wait, they're not compatible. They are not compatible whatsoever. Oops. So if they're not compatible, why don't we hide the cannons at the back and they can come up and out? Yes. Maybe that's a jetpack. Maybe it's not. We don't know. We don't know. And then any other bigger pieces? No, not really. So I might just straight up remove that one. Turns out the arms aren't as secured as we thought, but that's all right. We don't need them. We don't need them to be right now. If we can have some arm rockets, please say there's another one of those elements. Or is arm rockets singular in this case? Arm rockets? Where's another Technic piece we could use? No, none of it. It's not having any of it. So I guess that's only 1 arm rocket. 1 arm rocket to a booster. How would that work if it's odd? We could try and spin it. I think that works hidden behind the torso though. So let's get another one of these on the other shoulder. We'll have that locked in place when it comes forward. Just a little 1 by 1. So we don't need too much Technic. Maybe some slopes around the helmets. I did have 1 of those. Do we have a second? We got some bigger slopes. Just another one of these 2 by 2s. No, don't think so. We'll cushion it out with these parts. Also, how high is this? Oh, this is way high enough. That's too high. We knocked it off. That should be secured a lot more. That's why. But should it be secured a lot more? I don't think there's much we can do. I don't think there's much we can do to secure this. The little hinge on the front. Maybe I haven't seen it yet. All right, 1 by 2. The outside of you. Also still need those 3 by 3s, which we can no longer cover up that, so that piece would do handy. And what we could do with the 3 by 3s is cut it off with, yeah, the other side could be covered as well. We have a 1 by 1, 1 by 1 in dark red. No 1 by 1s. All right, that's our problem for later then. And then we won't need the top corner. So we can fill this entire thing up. I feel like we're cutting it out though. We're cutting it out by doing this. I might add a 1 by 3 on the bottom. If we have enough. I see 2 over here. That seems to be enough. Just like so. That way we can find something to fill that gap. Even if it's like a dark red 1 by 3. Or a dark red, honestly, 1 by 5 at this point. Throw me anything. I can work with it. Alright, a cheese slope will stop it coming too far forward. So that has a feature. Has a purpose, a glorious purpose. And a random 1 by 2 to fill this gap. There we are. Shame we can't link up these Technic bricks. But at least they're supporting each other emotionally, if not physically. It's a bit of emotional support going on there. If it works. Let's see what sort of colours we can hide out in the sides, because we need 2 plates to fill this 1x3. We do have 1x3s, but that's too easy. Liking the sound of sand green under the pits. Actually, I don't like the sound of sand green under the pits anymore. Now that I've said it like that, that sounds kind of gross. But it's there now. It's there now. We're not taking that out. That should have been the challenge. You cannot remove... Oh, that's an awesome challenge. You can't remove a Lego piece. Why didn't I think of that earlier? We should give that a go. You can't remove a Lego piece. Everything you place down has to stay. How difficult would... For me, that would be very difficult. I can't take out a Lego piece. Because I'm used to just putting pieces in, taking a few out, messing around with it for a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in white, or 5. Should be using the brick separator, trying to protect my elements where I can. On top of that, I want a bracket, not necessarily an up bracket, probably a down bracket. We could also use snot bricks, get some detail in. We've still got a control panel here that we need to use, and some arms to build, which is looking a bit lackluster right now. And then in you go. That's the other arm. So far, these arms are tiny. Not going to be able to fight off anything. Definitely not our B2 battle droid mech. The wings are angled. So we only have the one white slope. That's not helpful. That is not helpful whatsoever. And we got the big Technic for the legs. Although do we? Because I seem to remember not being able to find any elements that will go in the legs. No element. There's a few connections that would almost work, but we don't want almost work. Oh, unless no, maybe. How many ways can we connect this? There's an axle hole in the side. That would work. There's this. I mean, this would work for down here, wouldn't it? Get in the Technic and then put in a joint in the middle so that the legs can't bend in. That would stop both legs from bending inwards. Oh no, we can't rotate this. I don't think we'll be able to rotate the ball much anyway, especially not if it sticks out the other side. But then if it doesn't stick out the other side, how's this look? Because that's just weird. That's weird, unless it was the other way around, in which case it hangs over too much. It's too near. Maybe we are better flipping this around. Let's try one more time, and then we'll go ahead with the can't remove bricks to see what we can build in in the final hour. Let's see if we can go without taking anything off, and if so, how far we get. So that would connect like so. We wouldn't need to be too careful with the ball joint. The fact that the leg is in a pinhole means it can rotate. So let's stop that straight away. Cut that off at the head. Ooh. All right, if this is what we're going with, let's secure this in. Let's plate it up so it stops popping off. Look, the leg has a little outstretch, so we might need to work on a foot, having a similar means, or we could have rotated the entire thing like we might have to do with the arms. I think that's a nice height for legs. We have the slope come in immediately inwards. Where did those, do we need Red on the... No, we want white on the legs. Oh, wait a second. Is this... Oh, this is the... No, no. Oh, we've got two of them. Oh, that's annoying. We could build one leg backwards. It'd be hard. I'm up for the challenge. We could build one leg backwards. Do we have any other 3-length parts that would work? Besides like that corner. Nothing wrong with the corner. It's not the easiest of pieces to work with. When you're trying to create some wedges in there, make it stick outwards a little bit. How thin do we want these legs as well? I'm kind of thinking thicker thigh, thinner leg. So this 3-2 would look nice, especially if we can angle a foot on the end. Let's get the other ball joint in before we secure it. Let's not leave it out. Where's the connector? That's the one. And that's Technic on the inside. And then just like so. There we are. We can secure that in with, honestly, if there was a longer plate, that would work in our favor, but I don't think we're going to find one. So something that doesn't cover the balls, just covers the either side of them. All right, what's the longest plates we've got for the back? Ooh, tan. I don't think we'll get away with using tan on the front. And I'll be adding any spare parts we've got after this build will go on the back of this. And then we can fill in the middle either with something like this or go straight up and grab a 2x3. We got another one of them from the front. And then we can start filling in bits once we know what's spare the other leg. There's not a finished design I have in mind anymore. A mix of like Exoforce, maybe a little bit of 1, 2 there. Maybe a little bit of Ninjago. But Star Wars has its chance to be its own thing. In Star Wars, we've got a hammer for it. What other weapon? We could have some sort of shield with a Republic logo. We've still got 2 big plates that I want to mash together. That could look cool with the plates. Let's round this off before we hone it back in. And again, no quarter. Oh, I mean the legs do have a few, and then we build it back out after the legs. Have some really weak knees. Hopefully they're not attacking the knees. That's more of a shoulder element. What piece have we got for the arm? Because I'm liking the arm, I'm liking the thought of the arm being built out, but without many parts, it's going to get harder and harder to build it out. We don't want to end up with these tiny T-Rex arms. That's the last thing I want. So we can either go in at the sides or try to work some sort of technique in that will have the arms coming off here. If we had the ball joint going straight in here, which we don't have the parts for that, but we could always swap them out. I don't think I can free the ball joint. That's it. It's stuck. Got no idea what to build for your next alien mock. I think. Do you think aliens would use mechs? Because when I think of alien, I think of an already powerful creature. But you see UFOs, you see other ships. Do you think aliens would use mechs? Because it would be unlike anything I was going to say a regular mech. I'm not sure regular mechs exist. That's not exactly something that you see on not something I see on a day-to-day basis. Maybe you do. But how many arms? I'm thinking like, not just Grievous, not just 4 arms, but as many arms as you could picture. Almost octopus-like. I feel like an alien mech wouldn't be a mech. Maybe you could try building something like that. I got mechs on the brain. anything you ask is going to have a mech-styled answer. I have the answer in mech. Right, 2x3s out of here. These were the axle ends. Will hold in the ball joint. Yeah, what happened to not? Oh, okay, it's just going over into the new hour. Maybe after this, I'll no longer be breaking things apart. But this isn't on the mech, so this doesn't count. I'm not counting this. Doesn't count. Just found the 6-stud projectile shooter. That's got to be included, whatever you're building. 100%. Oh wait, I got rid of the wrong clip, didn't I? Whoopsie. We'll swap that one out. And then let's make sure we return everything as it was. Get that in there. Get this up here. Where'd the tile go? Misplaced it. I think there was another one up here. We didn't use them both, did we? No. I had to check. I thought we could have. That's the cannon that comes around. We've got, what's this? The shoulder. We don't want the shoulder in there. Could build a turret. Alien battle pack. We need an alien battle pack for Star Wars. But Star Wars related, which aliens would you pick? If you could only fill a battle pack, do you think that's why why Lego haven't done it? Because they're still deciding what aliens to put in the battle pack. That's my headcanon now. That's my reason for it. Which joint? Do they connect at the top? Or do they connect? Oh no! What? What's up with that? Hold on. I thought we just secured. Oh, we never secured it. No, of course we didn't. Alright, if we haven't secured it, maybe we should work on fixing that in. That would help. I'm surprised with the mechs we haven't got a battle pack mech. Like the 327 could have come with a little 327, like a Ninjago battle pack size. Alien like a xenomorph. Ah, I think it's more Alien Conquest aliens, but we don't have an alien Lego set. That's something that we could see in the... I mean, there's plenty of ideas. I've seen a few xenomorph alternate builds, which aren't on ideas. They should be. But I'm surprised we haven't got any sort of alien build at all from Lego. I feel like that's quite not an easy one to do, but an easy one for Lego to make. Ooh. We need a lot of brackets on the outside here. Where are the thick ones? Like this. Oh, dark red. We'll save that for the arm. Let's try and keep with white. Do we have any white ones? These big. Oh, look. There's a white one. I'm sure there's another one of them laying around somewhere. And then we slowly build it down and around. There we go. There's the other one. Stream luck, I'm calling it. Alien Conquest is a theme I'm surprised. I mean, Alien Conquest wasn't exactly popular. It was almost a sideshow of City for a year or two. I don't think it ran for as long as I think it ran. Might have only been a year or two. But I'm surprised we haven't seen any of those style of themes return. We haven't got anything from Lego. Ooh. Also these tops. We need a few more 1x1s. Get some grey studs in here. Or a bracket. We got a load of brackets, yeah. 1, 2. And then that will help secure in whatever we decide to put here. And also hold up the slopes that I really am trying desperately to put down. There's a few quarter ones as well. These yellow axle bricks. are kind of, they're actually pretty good. I thought they were sticking out a little bit too much. I took a step back and decided they're not that bad. Once you cover them up, they're not that bad. Once you cover them up, I think that says it all. I've seen a xenomorph. Oh, yes, from K2. I remember hearing about that. That is... some of the bigger design sets have really good parts in for building different things, like K2. I wouldn't say that's one of the sets that pops to mind when I think of parting out Lego sets. I think if anything, that's pretty close to the bottom of my list, some of those droid builds. But sometimes the parts line up for a build. And sometimes you struggle to find that one slope that you swear you had a second ago. Oh, got it. Nope. That was not the part I meant to pick up. There we go. Now it's looking more like legs. We just need to decide what we're doing with the side. That one will work. And start sloping that out as well. Plates, so that we've got more studs than we could ever need. And like a 2x4. No straightforward 2x4s. We got these 8s. We got some 4s. That's all I wanted. Some 4s. I should have checked there was a second one before opening my mouth. That was dangerous. And then for the bottom, what I want to do is we've got holes for a Technic pin. Now, we might have holes for a Technic pin. It doesn't mean that what I'm thinking will work perfectly, but I'm going to try and create some feet for it, and I'm wondering if we can incorporate some of these side pieces. This would be a nice accessory on the back. That does look quite nice. If we can bridge the gap. Either a bracket, this, yes. This door piece, I can't remember what it's called now. That one, that would be just fine. And then something else could go on there. We don't have any more of those Technic-y parts, do we? Doesn't count as removing it because I don't have it on both sides. Yes, these pieces. We can get some flames in it if we wanted. Not that flames come in the V-19 set, I'm just thinking ahead. Yes, the flames that are sticking out the back of the V-19, that's normal. Everyone's V-19 has flames out the back. We do want a shield, so I don't want to use those big elements. We could... So the feet are just to stand it. And as long as we've got 3 studs, we can slope off the back. Do we have any slopes that would work actually? Do we have the space for these angles? Not with this. We had some of these elements, which more Technic. Quite a bit more Technic, and it sticks out the side. We want these legs to almost be central. One of the feet is going to stick out a bit further than the other, depending on how we decide to attach it. Find another little Technic piece. And pop these into place. Right, there we go. Hadn't got that one yet. Maybe a brick. I guess if we want the feet to be quite thick, we can start piling up bricks. We just got to be careful how many bricks we use, because whatever we do to one, we've got to do to the other. And we've used the 1x4s. We have still got the big slopes. Any other slope elements we could use on the front? Just to fill in the middle. We could use these 1x3s. And then we just need cheese slopes up the front, and then most of the rest would be tiled off, to be fair. I don't think there's too many more slopes that we could add if we wanted to. We could also try to bridge the gap a little with these. I think using these later on would be nice. So maybe we just have that strip that I talked about up the middle. We got so many more brackets. And then if we had these slopes, that wouldn't affect it anyway. Yeah, they don't help. That stops it toppling over forward. I don't know if we want them going back though. We mainly want the stance out to the side. Oh, we don't have parts that work out to the side. Well, that would be an issue then, wouldn't it? This would give us one direction. Hey! This would give us one direction, and if we had a Technic piece in the other side, that would give us our second direction, but we need it to fall a bit lower. We need it to fall a bit lower, and then, or we need to connect it like so, yeah. Maybe we build the whole thing upside down. Let's see. So these are our feet. And these are, oh wait, the other one's still in. These are what we're trying to connect it to. Yeah, you can pop off for now. Let's see, I want to build these higher. We've literally got 2 left feet. That can be comical. And then that on the other side. We need this to be a lot higher though. Unless we have this sticking out. That's 1, 2, 3. And I'm sure we've got a second one of those. And that would be our other dimension. We would be able to almost spin. This isn't even clipping down. What's up with it? Oh, there we go. Almost spin. So if we had the legs out to the side, this would work. This would work like so. And same on the other side, but the opposite. This is why we don't remove parts, because we always end up needing them. Need them on the Mac. What's this ship? You're in the cockpit on Transgreat. So the original build was a V-19, if you can believe it. What I'm building now is not a V-19. It's a, oh yeah, it's a Mech inspired by the V-19. You could definitely switch up some of the more exclusive colors and part this out with your own pieces. I think the cockpit and a few of the other slopes used are some of the harder to find pieces in this set. No, I do like the fact that the feet are sideways like this. I actually prefer the feet being a bit thicker. So do we have any 1x6s, or did I use them all on the back? I bet I used them all on the back. I've got a tan one here, and I think I used them both in tan. 1x8 maybe. Ooh, okay. Okay. And then we flip this one around. What do we do it? 3 studs in? 3 studs in. No, I'm thinking maybe 1 stud forward. Just so most of the weight is held on these feet. And then we can build up to the slopes around it. Any other? Oh look, we've got these elements as well. Why am I trying to use odd parts? Even better, we use the odd parts with these. That way, when the legs come together, oh, it's like it's made to be. When the legs come together, they still stand up. Quite like that. It forms a complete base, but they can also split apart. How nifty is that? We just need to secure this down, and it needs to be secured because whilst it might stand, Oh, it does. It stands up, so it passes our test. It doesn't stand up very solid. Some of that is to do with the ball joints. They're not the most solid of builds, but a lot of that is what we can help, and that's with the bottom here. Yes, thanks for that. Thanks for that demonstration. Ah, no, it doesn't seem like this mech is gonna stand. We might have to rethink the ball joints in the legs. I thought this would be secure. Maybe it's because of how we've connected them though. We don't have anything keeping the axles in. I'm going to change one thing about this, and I can almost guarantee it will change how the entire build holds itself. And that is adding these 1x1 axle thingamajigs into the back, and then connecting them in. What do we need? Just some regular 1x1s and 1x2s, and the amount of plates used here should provide enough support that it stops it wobbling over, and also won't need to be covered up when we get towards the end of the build because it's angled off enough. We'll just need to line this up in the center. Foot can be replaced. We'll come back for it. There we go. And then same as the other side, just need to make sure we're not using too many 1x2s because I think I may have just exhausted our collection. Huh. Oh dear. Well, we'll add a bracket on the side. We can make it look pretty, add a few slopes over it, and yeah, we dress it up later. Especially with how this side's coming along. If we get like a rounded 2x2, we could slope it up like that. I think maybe an ingot. Do we have ingots? I haven't seen a single ingot, and there should be a few white ones. No, no white ones. No ingots that I can see. Well, if we can't have ingots, we can have slopes and or other bits. Okay, we can dress it up at the end, but now we should have legs with a lot more structure. Yeah, we could. I mean, the bottoms of the feet are still not great. They're not. We might have to rethink how we were going about the feet. Just want to test if these angles. No, they don't match up to the ground. We're going to need something steeper than that. Those large plated wings are exclusive. Oh, exclusive to the set. Let's make sure we don't damage them then. And then maybe the 1x3s. Maybe we widen it at the back, and that can be done with these 1x6s underneath. Don't know where we'd be getting these angles from. Any 1x2s, they could sharpen off the angle, make it seem a bit more purposeful, because our legs aren't as tall as I once probably thought they would be. And then these 1x3s would be held in by a 1x6 as well as any like 2x, not 2x4s anymore, but any other pieces we may use. Maybe a 2x3. We've got some tiles. I want to stick with plates now because we are still angling it off. Yeah, we've got enough. And that also gives a bit more dimension to the legs, considering they were just 1 bricks. Oh, was used in the snowspeeder. Can't wait for a new snowspeeder. When are we going to get that cockpit again? We need a recolor. Oh, and there we have it. It's very front weighted because there's nothing balancing it out on the back. We'll find something that works, even if it is just more of the same slope. If this works, I will be pleasantly surprised. Whoa, I'm pleasantly surprised. It stands up all on its own. The legs are very small. But if it works, it works. Only I flip this backwards. Oh, we've got a good opportunity here to flip it backwards. Because I could flip the 1x6, but that would kind of mess things up. How many more 1x3s? 2x3, sorry. How many more 2x3s? Because we need as many as we can get. And these are different sides, yeah. They're not all the same side. And one more, come on. One more. Let's use up the last of our stream luck. And put these. I'm going to save the 2x8s for the other side. Because here, I want to use some more of these slopes. Not these slopes. Not these slopes. We don't have enough. But if it's something like this, and then some 2x3s or something, you'll be buying the new Falcon 100%. I think it's the best of the line. I think the new Falcon is for sure the best of the line. The other one I want to build is Mos Eisley. I won't be buying it, but I will be building it, having already built what I called a minifigure. No, not a mini builders series Falcon, which is what we called it on the channel. I will for sure be building that. And seeing, it doesn't seem to have much to offer. The Falcon has a lot. It's the first Falcon in ages that has an actual complete interior. I'm excited for that. I would switch up the interior. What I'm thinking, because I wanted to keep the Christmas Falcon diorama built, I might end up using the interior of the Christmas Falcon and squeezing that into the new playset. I think that would look pretty good, because as long as it's tall enough to house an arch, you could have an accurate Falcon interior. Not scaled down, but accurate in terms of the main room that they're all in. There's one room that everyone recognizes from the Falcon, the hollow chess table, the scene where Han and Kira run off. You've got R2 patching 3PO in the doorway. You've then got Rey and Finn being found in that room. Like that one room is everywhere. Does the leg go up legally, or does it push away at those? I think it might push away at those parts just a little. But that gap, no one wants to see that gap. We'll keep the slopes here till they pop off. And then what we got here? Like fours and a bracket. I never found the bracket. Never found the bracket. We do have this bracket. That should do the trick, keeping the cockpit up where it needs to be. And we need to secure the cockpit down a little bit more as well. And then fours. Any in red that aren't tiles? Any? We got sixes. How high can that cockpit go? Maybe we angled it. I feel like we need to angle it lower. It's got a gap in the side of the helmet. That's all right with me. And then we've got, maybe this is for the hammer on the back. I do still want to make the cannon, which will use a bunch of these parts, and we'll just hang down the back. If we can make it flip, that'd be perfect. I don't know about that. I might be asking too much there. Oh, and we've still got the one tile there. Ooh. Ooh. I think we're at 1x3s. What was it? Red or white? I think it was going to be white, but we're going to use the white bricks on the feet. So I'm going to make it red. I'm going to make it red. Don't give it a choice. Make it red. Okay. It sticks out a little bit, but it's not that bad. And then we can get a tile. We've got some fours. Maybe use some slopes to get up in there. And then any 1x2s. These slopes are nice. Let's use some of our blue studs. I haven't seen many of those around. Drop them in. I also wonder with the Smart Play sets, I wonder how many of the rest of the Star Wars sets are going to be Smart Play. Lego have been making more smart, what? Ingot! Lego have been making more Star Wars sets recently than ever before. So hopefully that number increases this year. Otherwise, how many sets won't we be getting because they'll be coming out with Smart Play sets? I don't think it will be too catastrophic. Said that very weird. I don't think it'll be too catastrophic in terms of like, oh, we have 20 sets less this year, because they do make that many sets. But I am interested to see how the number varies, how it varies, and what other changes are coming our way. Oh, no. Let's see. The cockpit lands there. We do need some studs in the middle. I would like to keep some of these other slopes. Oh, that's not bad. A nice gradual effect. Maybe we can add a few more slopes and details homing in though. Like get some of those chunky slopes over. Because then that splits up, like with the wings, you have the slopes at the bottom, slopes at the front of the ship, then the white. We need that chunk of white in there, but it's not quite built out to that degree. If only we had smaller ones, or like smaller white angles maybe, to match up. We can replicate that both sides. That way we're not just completely getting rid of them, and then we've got these slopes that stick out in the middle. Any more 4s? I know there's a few white ones and a few red ones. Maybe we'll have a stripe of red flowing up the side. Oh, it would bump into the dark red, and grey not as much. So I'm going to put the grey ones down. There we go. And then the 1x2s on top. Could be more brackets. Do we have any like dark red or anything that could add detail? I suppose we can't afford brackets on the right shoulder on account of it being a moving piece. But we do need something on the left. What do we have more 1x2s? There's a lot of tan. There's a lot of tan 1x2s. They won't look as good from the outside. We can use those for joints still. And on the out and on the inside. So maybe just a little bit of dark red to cap off these brackets. And that way we could also hinge the bottom. I still haven't come across that hinge. What are we looking for? A white. Oh, it's not grey. The bottom's grey and the top element's white. Maybe that's why I haven't come across it. Finds it straight away. I think that was it. Hello there again, Mark. Welcome. And then we'd need to build this. We need to build it what? 2 out. So maybe move it forward so it sinks below. But we could use some slopes. Ooh, too long. This almost perfect. We could use these slopes. Oh no, other way again. To add more of an interior. No problem. Something not quite like. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad at the front. How many slopes do we have? This is turning almost sleeve 1 in the torso now. May the bricks be with you, Mark. Like, we're building a rib cage for this mech. That's quite cool. Now that I called it a rib cage, I'm gonna go into that. What do we need? We need something to build this up. Any regular bricks still? We had a few earlier. This one in grey. Oh, yes, let's hide. Oh no, it's visible from the side. 1x4. Lovely. Is this too far up? Is is that too far up? Maybe we don't need a brick. Maybe we need not a brick, a plate. Let's use a few different plates. Up brackets would be easier to remove, harder to fill in behind. Well, you know what? Hopefully we don't need to remove that. So this would be, no, too tall at the top. Maybe we need to move this back one. Maybe this needs to be up. And then, I still think this is too tall. Maybe we need to put it back. Welcome back. Let's see. We can remove this with a brick separator and get a brick one further back, because we need, let's put a 1 by, actually, are there any 4x4s? Any 4x4s would be awkward on a build this size. There are any, speak now or forever not be used. All right, 1x4 in there with the snot brick. And if we could add like a plate on top for now, we might just found the perfect height. This will close in. We want to stop it. We want to stop it before it gets all the way in, so that it adds a nice little bit of depth to the top, and then we can spin that off in however many parts we've got spare. Something, although we might have enough already. We got any other angles? These I do want to keep aside for the feet. There's a 1x4, 2 of those. Something like this, because we have the fins on the back of the V-19. They are pointing away. I don't know if that, I don't think that will look as good. Oh, it does. It actually looks like the tail of a plane. That looks pretty good. And then we can think of some sort of nose to attach. There might be a little gap in the middle, but that's okay. No, 1 plate down. So this will be directly on the bricks that support the clone. So I'm going to add 2 of them and add a slope to make sure we're putting them on perfect. We don't want any half-angled clone trooper. There we are. I might just tile off the entire floor. That should work. Now we get the rib cage going. Make sure we attach it fully. Look at that. And then 1 down here. Yes, yes, this is it. This is it for the rib cage. We just need a 2x2 red slope to fill in the front, and something, maybe we do go with a rib cage look. Something a little smaller to fill in between these supposed ribs. No, come on, out you come. Sometimes it's a little fiddly. I think that's why we like Lego, not model building. Model building isn't fiddly, it's fragile. Lego building isn't fragile, it's fiddly. Some parts can be fragile, but rarely is it fragile. We just got to find out which angle we need for this top bit. Have a feeling those 1x2s we've already used would come in perfect here. Or we don't want to go too bulky and build it out anymore. We don't want to build it up, do we? Why not? That looks like a little control. Could we get on the back end of that? Could we get our sticker? All right, we don't have to connect our sticker to a grey piece just because it's on a grey sticker. What I'm going to do now is stick this as straight up as I can. So silence in the chat just whilst I'm you can talk. I just won't look at chat whilst I'm focusing on this. Oh, is that set? There's a reason Lego don't sticker these elements. We don't have a flat one, do we? No, no flat ones in sight. Is that perfect? Howard, I don't think this is going to stick down. I don't think this is going to stick down. How else can we stick it down? I think we go for it. What we might have to do is cut it ever so slightly at the bottom. That way it will spiral around, overlap a little bit. But this just isn't going to lay flat. Where's the tile this is meant to go on? What sort of connections? Oh, we do have one in the middle. So how can we connect these two without any... We can't just put a pin in it and call it a day. That's cheating. But if we had a 2-length bar, we could use some of these studs. I don't think we have a 2-length bar. We have some hilts. Hilts are a bit too thick. And that seems to be it. No nipple studs or anything like that. Ooh. What can we use? What can we use to flip studs? Yeah, what does a Sarge's lightsaber look like? Because that would bend up a little bit. That would stick out. That sticks out too far. We could try sticking it just over this gap. Actually, that's not a bad call. It would lose its stickiness over time. That's a problem. We could try and flip this. I think also we've got to think about the gaps either side of it. If we cover that up with this, it's not going to help much. If we have some sort of bracket in there, because right now we've got space for this and the clone mech. Oh no, that wouldn't work. That'd still be the wrong way around. Any brackets? Again, brackets, but the wrong way. Brackets that are the wrong way aren't much good to us unless we can somehow use a bracket to flip it. Because we do have quite a few brackets. Quite a few brackets. And none of them in the right direction for what we need. That would... Oh, hold on. Do we have a jumper? Oh no, that would still be too tall. But a jumper would work. Perhaps. Perhaps a jumper would work. Oh no, we can secure this in with a bracket. I've chopped off the top. We really need to secure that in with more than a bracket. This would also keep the shape of the torso. I don't think it could bend if the bracket was here, because it'd be trapped between the bracket and the lower torso. Oh, actually, I think it might be too far stuck down. So rather than the bracket is one full plate. This underslope is a gradual plate, so it doesn't go straight to a plate. And oh, actually that doesn't affect it all. Well, that does not help. This is too thick. And also, wait, why does a bracket stop it? Does it ruin its arc? Slightly. What if the bracket was upside down? It would just go all the way. Well, that's not going to help us. So in it goes. Really like how the body of this has come out. Maybe we don't need all these angles for the feet. Maybe we only need some of these angles. Let's see. That's cool. That's cool because it matches up to the slope on the top. So we could use those for the arms. That's what I'm saying. We got Technic bricks. Any more? 1, 2, 3. These might be a little too big Technic bricks. Not sure about those just yet. Maybe these. We need something that will capture. I mean, it stands up on its own. It's just not very strong, and it's going to be front heavy. So rather than focusing on the back, where's the grey ones? 1 and 2. Let's add a toe out the front. Still need a way to secure this down, and also to add a little bit of structure to the entire cockpit just resting on the front here. That's also going to be a little tricky. But now we could add, so what I was thinking is add in a mix of brackets, because that still gets that gets it up on the top, and also gives us that arch if we have any more angled pieces, any more of the slopes. We used them here. I might get rid of them. Might get rid of them so that we can use some flatter pieces, or better yet, some more of those 1x1 round slopes. I think they are a little underrated in this build. We should pair them up stronger together. Although I can't get rid of these. Hey, barely able to. Had a grey stud or a white 1x1, a bit more solid if we're adding a curve next to it. And these slopes just make sure the, oh no, that's like the whole core bit of the leg I've popped off. The slopes make sure the brackets don't fall off. Not that the brackets are gonna want to remain if they're the last part of the build. Oh no, you get right back on there. And then we can add slopes to the back as well. That should help out a little. Now, do we have any more of those quarter circles? Or do we just have the one spare? We might just have the one spare. So, for now, yeah, let's add that little angle. I think it adds a lot to the front, because then we've got the 2-tier. Why do we do that? So that we had these for the cockpit. Watch these not work. Hopefully they do, and then we've just got some little slopes to hunt for, which we might not have, but we'll figure something out eventually. Oh, look, we got some undersides as well. Just something to go across this for here. Maybe even some buttons. Maybe some buttons. Maybe some slopes. We're going to need a bit more than slopes. Or we're going to need a plate at the bottom with some cheese slopes. We've got our dark red cheese slopes that we kept earlier. Any dark red by the cockpit? Not really. But we're not building a V-wing. We're building a V-wing inspired mech. We can slot these just underneath. And that will fill the gap. Come on, come on. Wait a second. How did that work? But the bracket wouldn't. Is it because we weren't securing it in as it was there? Is that the problem with it? It also lines it up perfectly for it to just go on these controls to go on their regular piece. So if you are parting out the V-19, there you are. You don't need to undo this sticker. Oh, look at that. Look at that sticker. Almost perfect. I think it goes this way up. Now the mech is controllable. You can actually hop in and control the thing. Before it just went wherever. It just ran around like a headless chicken. And we do have some white ingots. Thought we did. Well, don't need them anymore. What I could use is some of these buttons. We'll have it glowing green. And I saw there was some blue studs. I think they're either for the engines or for the stud. Actually, they're probably for the engines. I think the green was for the stud shooters. But now we have somewhere our clone can hop it. Actually, does the clone fits, right? Should we have tested this before we buttoned up? Oh, the clone fits. Okay. The arms can either go behind or in front and cannot move whilst the vehicle is in motion. But there, it suits up. We have our bottom fin that kind of matches up when the legs are closed, but the legs are supposed to be open, only I'm missing the other 2x3. Did we end up, did we steal that? No, we haven't. We used the red one on the back. Maybe there wasn't another white one. I thought this is something I would have checked, especially this far into the build, and I didn't look. Well, that's on me. Let's secure the back. Make sure this leg ain't going anywhere. We can also stack it up if we feel like we need that extra one. Yeah, that looks better than just the 2x2. It kind of feels out of place back here. We could also, a little bit more detail, get the jumper in there to fill out the leg. As a finishing touch for the feet here, because I don't think we'll be coming back. Once this thing stands, we want to make sure we leave it alone as much as we possibly can. We don't want to be messing around with the feet, with the leg joints, any of that. And now filling in the bum, I guess. Ooh, only one slope. We do have some 1x4 compatible pieces. We do have a few more of these slopes as well, which don't look terrible, mind you. They don't. We could get some bigger parts in the middle. I like the idea of covering all these darker colors. I don't think black is the color we should be covering it with. But those gaps in the middle I'm not extremely fond of. Maybe running some of these elements down the back. We need a 2x to fit in. 2x in grey. We're going to be covering it up at the end of the day, maybe even a round plate. That's a gear in the thigh. Putting something to work. And then any 1x4s, any ones that aren't in white. White is an important colour. We need to save as much white for the arm because it's going to be dark red dominated. We have some 1x3s. There'll be enough with a stud at their side. And then a maybe a tan 1x2 to go with it. And then this is what I want to use the grey ones for. Any more studs to shoot, or blue studs, grey studs, studs with a hole? I know we had a few of those floating around a second ago. They seem to have hid real quick. There you go, 2 grey. 2 grey, we'll use you. This is why spare parts are also important, because I'm sure we're probably going to need another one of them. And then maybe we can match it up with grey and add a joint back here. Ooh. Any more corner plates in white? No, I think we only had 2 of those. Blue might be a bit too random back here, especially we've got the yellow that needs covering. No more 1x1s. We've got some 1x2s in grey. I didn't know they existed in this set. I thought it was just tan. We could run an ingot up the top. We could. And that grey fills a hole. I don't see us using those on the arm. Kind of matches up with the techie vibe that we've got going on the back. I think the legs are done. The back needs some work. But all we got left is to finish the feet and add Add some arms. Can't forget about the arms. Let's see. Let's see what other elements. I wonder if... Oh, that's where we use the other 2x3s. Underneath this one. So that would work if we could secure the rest of it with, say, a 2x3. This could be stripy because there are stripes on the back of the wings, not on the bottom. Not on the bottom of these. We have a few more 2x3s, so that's all right. That works out. And then these could hold on the feet, but they need to be a bit further out. Let's see what we've got. We've got the 8s. I want to keep the 8s. Any more 2x plates? Any other colours? There was a black one, wasn't there? There's another 2x3. Don't know where I put the last one. 2x4s. I think if these tiles hold down the fort here, then by doubling up these slopes, maybe slopes on the answer. Maybe. No, that just doesn't work now. That's a little too crazy. I take that one back. We could... I'm kind of at a loss for these feet. Let's see what we can put down. There's some technical parts which would be great for adding rockets to the bottom, but it's not the parts that I'm lost for. It's the securing this down, making sure they don't go anywhere. Unless what other plates do we have that could hold these down, like snot bricks? Because then these feet do stick out. Oh, I might use the snot bricks to hold down some like wedges on the side to slope it up, because the feet definitely need to be 3 wide, but how do they get there? How do they get to 3 studs wide? Maybe they get built out like this. How many extra bricks do we have? All of these, and then the slopes go on top. We could run an element all the way through, maybe a bar. Maybe we have, oh, maybe these go through. How far to the bottom? Pretty far. Why are they not moving? Oh, because the studs don't line up. Oh, so not far enough to the bottom. Although, it fits with the thing. Oh, wait. It doesn't fit that way around. It fits on the front and uses up another element. Result. We'll take that. We can also get a little detail up the side. I don't know what yet. I don't think it would include axles or these bars. It's a 1x4. There's a few 6s. We do have a stud with a hole, 2 studs with a hole. And we also have these clips. They can run up the side, but they can also go lower into the feet. How much lower? How much lower do we need them to go? No, I don't know how I feel about that. That looks weird. It was cool originally, but now that's not right. Any other technique? Let's try to use one of those blue 3 long pins and just attach one of the grey pieces out the side. That's all it needs. We could cover up that top. That wouldn't fit a wedge. Again, I think it's... Oh wait, it's weak. We haven't put the slope on the top. Let's get that. There we go. No, not a fan of that. I think we pop that out. Using a bar, there's no way the brick separator is going to get in there. I don't think the brick separator is going to fit in many of the places we kind of designed. All right, the feet hold it up. Final thing to work on is the arms. But wait, before anything, add an ingot. Maybe add 2 ingots. Yes, 2 ingots to the front. Do it. And also, whilst we're here, I think these slopes should probably be sloping off with the ship, not without the ship. They're just coming to 2 very irregular points, and those holes also add a little bit of detail. Should they go up? Should they go up a little more? We could sit them up if we had another bracket. Waiting for it to appear. I'm just saying, you know, chap, if we had another bracket, I've seen like these big ones. They're not what I have in mind. I want something just a little bigger. Actually, no, just a little bit. Just a little bracket. All we need to smooth out the innards of this. And I don't think a little bracket's on its way. We had another stud up top though. Literally all we need is not this, but like half of this. One of those shorter brackets to appear. Watch, we'll find one and it won't work. Or we won't find one and it would be like the best thing ever. Okay, we'll move on from that. Just got the arms to do. We could build the arm, the hammer into the arm. The hammer could be an arm, and we've got some Technic bricks to give it that extra little joint. We just need to find a way to get the arms attached and solid enough that they're not going to fall apart just by looking at it the wrong way. I think even the arms should be built on the underside so that they're a bit closer to the chest. But that is coming up to actually bang on all we got time for today. So right now, our clone pilot mech isn't quite finished. We've got the body. I'm loving the body. I'm loving the head as well. The crown on the head looks very like I've stolen it from Lloyd's Titan mech for the 15th anniversary. I didn't. I took inspiration from it at best. And we could, we can definitely support the back a little bit. Let me just add some ingots as we're finishing up. But that is all we've got time for today. We will be back to build the arms. It does stand up on the desk, right? You can only see the top of it. You have to take my word for it. It stands up on the desk. The feet could be a little wider. I might try and Technic this down if possible. Build a little display case. Maybe we can build a display stand, not a display case, out of the parts that remain. But I'll be back to build the arms at some point. And yeah, that's all for today's stream. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out throughout this build. I now need to find a place to put all these parts. Actually, I've got the perfect tub that we just emptied on our recent part out stream. There won't be a stream this week on Friday. I am busy Friday. So the next stream, if all goes well, will be Saturday, where I will be finishing this build and also taking a look at some of the February sets, which they're interesting. They're interesting. But that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and may the bricks be with you always.